Just half a century ago, India started establishing export processing zones that had a structure similar to the modern-day SEZs. Seepz was among Asia's first such belts set up to boost local manufacturing of electronics. It later became one of the first 3 special economic zones of the country after the SEZ policy was brought in to improve business environment and GDP growth. SEZs are delineated duty-free enclaves deemed as foreign territory for the purpose of trade operations and levies. To facilitate ease of doing business, SEZs offer various tax ops, license-free imports, lower power tariff, single window clearances, among several other incentives, making it an attractive investment destination for exporters. The guidelines for establishing an SEZ include generation of additional economic activity, promotion of exports and investments, creation of job avenues, development of infrastructure, and maintenance of India's sovereignty and integrity. So far, 378 SEZs have been notified in India, of which 265 are operational. Combined exports from these SEZs hit 7,59,524 crore rupees in financial year 2021. That's a 45% surge over 2016-17. India has a total of 7 SEZ zones, and Seepz zone is extensively spread across the states and union territories of Maharashtra, Goa, Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. 37 of 265 operational SEZs in India are in the Seepz zone. In all, there are 1,045 units spread across the zone. World's largest COVID vaccine producer, Serum Institute of India, as well as one of the biggest concentrations of diamond-studded precious metal jewelry producers, have set up a base here. It is also home to some of the biggest names in the IT sector. Spread over 110 acres, Seepz SEZ has a built-up area of over 2.25 lakh square meters and 53% of the land is open. A major plus point of Seepz SEZ is accessibility. When it was set up in 1973, the city was still developing. Since then, the importance of this strategic location has only grown. It is now nestled in the heart of Mumbai and is just 6 kilometers distance to the international airport and 30 kilometers from India's busiest seaport, JNPT. Seepz SEZ brings convenient access to the metro's vast commercial and social infrastructure. It can be reached easily via all means of public transport and offers great connectivity to an efficient communication network, a competent ancillary base, a well-developed financial structure, and a skilled workforce. Because of its strategic location, Seepz SEZ itself is a landmark in the country. It is on the path to clock in exports worth over 25,000 crore rupees in the ongoing fiscal. That's a growth of over 36% year-on-year. The export performance has recorded a steady growth in both merchandise and software and services.
Honorable Prime Minister has already set a $400 billion export for this particular financial year 21-22, and our part of that target we have already achieved up to November, and we are expecting to surpass it.
Over the years, workforce has also gradually increased at Seepz SEZ, which employed over 1 lakh people as of November 2022. The premises boast of MMTC, e-commerce center, banks, post office, health center, canteens, guest house, hotel for corporate accommodation, training center, creche, biogas plant, sewage treatment plant, gold assaying machine, electric vehicle for patrolling, COVID test and vaccination center, RFID cameras, LED lighting, management system for employees and daily visitors, and an infrastructure module to monitor cleaning and maintenance. The security system at Seepz SEZ is state-of-the-art. The entrance is highly monitored with the help of latest technology to avoid any pilferage of goods. Seepz SEZ receives uninterrupted power supply from generating stations of Western Maharashtra and will soon see reduction in power tariff by around 30%. which will lower production costs of units and help make their goods more competitive globally. It also has an assured daily supply of 4.6 million liters water.
Lease rents or the cost of manufacturing is so less, the power cost is so less that we are going to reduce it by almost 30% what is at present, and the lease rents are almost 1/4 of what is outside Seepz.
From an enviable, developed location amid a bustling metropolis to the myriad inducements that make manufacturing here an extremely beneficial proposition, Seepz SEZ has carved out a niche for itself.
Well, it's been a wonderful journey. India was one of the first to come up with SEZ, and we are reaping the benefit of it. See, getting the goods here, it's a lot easy. The work environment here is also much more peaceful and nicer. You're in the duty-free zone, so imports and exports are a lot faster and easier compared to what we have to do outside. So there are a lot of benefits that we get out here. Both the parties have worked hand in hand and things have become a lot easy because both have understood that we only have one goal, is how to grow our industry, how to grow our business, how to compete with the world.
India's gems and jewelry trade is set to hit $44 billion in outbound shipments in the financial year 2022 as part of the push to expand important export sectors. Mumbai has one of the foremost trading centers for diamonds, where around 90% of India's diamond exports take place. The financial capital is the largest exporter of gems and jewelry and a key center for cast and diamond-studded jewelry. Seepz SEZ alone accounts for 1/4 of the jewelry imports of the US. The diamond industry forward integrated to studded jewelry manufacturing at Seepz SEZ, which contributes to over 30% of the total jewelry exports and 53% of the studded jewelry exports of the country, and is one of the single largest such clusters with close to 160 units. Seepz SEZ has developed a brand recognition for gems and jewelry and electronics, and that has significantly strengthened over the decades.
Seepz is doing close to around 3.2 billion. Now of this, interestingly, in the United States, 1/4 of the total jewelry imports essentially is originating out of Seepz. Seepz has established itself as a shining icon of jewelry manufacturing. Seepz has close to around 250 odd units, of which close to around 160 are exclusively focused on gems and jewelry. See, Seepz essentially the biggest visiting card is the jewelry which is manufactured in Seepz is known as Seepz jewelry. So if you are in the jewelry business, as I largely said, globally the highest consumer of jewelry is the United States of America. Now if they are consuming say 1 unit of jewelry, 1/4 of that unit is actually being manufactured here itself in Seepz. So in the US, the jewelry trade, the big manufacturers and the big retailers essentially know it as Seepz jewelry and not as Indian jewelry.
We have another iconic or unique preposition here, that the largest industrial cluster of diamond-studded precious metal industry is here under this zone. When we talk about Seepz, this is a jewel in the crown of this zone. Actually, out of 37 SEZs under this zone, Seepz is in fact is a landmark, and it has got its own importance, not only in India but world over. See, whenever you go to some international exhibitions, people ask them, do you own a factory or place in Seepz?
Being located in Mumbai ensures access to various services necessary for manufacturing and, above all, efficient freight movement, inward for the raw materials and outward for finished goods. The industry has prospered in Seepz SEZ after conscious attempt was made to remove the hurdles it faced. Now, the future is bright for the electronics hardware units focused on capability game.
Such manufacturer, they manufacture the parts of ventilator, and they continued during their lockdown also in Mumbai. so that smooth supply of ventilators can be maintained. One of our manufacturers are manufacturing the PCBs which are being used in defense and ISRO, the Chandrayaan, so they are also contributing in their own way.
At Seepz SEZ, Customs section plays the role of a facilitator rather than a regulator. The policy here is to promote exports and provide clearances with minimum interference and in least time possible. The clearance time for import and export is within hours, not days, ensuring that the consignments aren't held up because of procedures. Here at Seepz SEZ, a piece of jewelry goes into production at 8 am. The shipping bill is presented to customs by 4 pm. The consignment gets assessed and cleared around 6 pm, and the same is on a flight by 10 pm. The shipment is out of India within a span of 12 to 14 hours. The reduced turnaround time at Seepz SEZ has helped India in improving ease of doing business ranking. All the agencies in general and customs in particular are available 24/7, 365 days a year. The customs section has worked on all public holidays and weekends and all through the pandemic, contributing to the success of Seepz SEZ.
So BVC is a 61-year-old company providing logistics services to the gems and jewelry and precious metal sector at Seepz. We have been providing custom clearance and international freight forwarding services for export and import since inception of Seepz. Recently, we have started vaulting services for international bullion supplier, supplying gold and silver to jewelry manufacture unit at Seepz. The business environment at Seepz very trade friendly and supportive. There is an abundance of power and all amenities.
Spread over 700 acres, JNPT SEZ at Uran is a multi-sector port-based special economic zone housing free trade warehousing zone also in the Mumbai metropolitan region. It has 9 units and the biggest is DP World of Dubai. It holds significant opportunities for entrepreneurs to invest here. JNPT SEZ is one of a kind 277 hectares multi-product industrial hub meticulously designed with state-of-the-art infra to boost export-oriented industries. Located next to India's largest container port, the Jawaharlal Nehru Port, it offers ready availability of raw material, access to global markets and great connectivity. Proximity to upcoming multimodal infrastructure projects including New Mumbai Airport, dedicated freight corridor, 6 to 8 lane highway connectivity, Trans-Harbour Link further increases its attractiveness. JNPT SEZ aims to set a new benchmark in port-led industrialization and play a key role in Shipping Ministry's Sagar Mala vision. It is the first port-based operational multi-product SEZ and provides single-window clearances. One of India's top IT hubs, Pune has SEZs that are also dominated by this sector. Companies such as TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra and MNCs like Barclays, Cognizant, Capgemini, Credit Suisse, Accenture have set up a base here. The Pune zone employed over 3.5 lakh people as of November 2021 and is a proud host to Serum Institute of India, world's largest manufacturer of vaccines by number of doses and the producer of life-saving COVID vaccines among other vaccines. Exports from the Pune cluster have almost doubled in the last 5 years from just over 46,000 crore rupees to about 95,000 crore rupees in the last fiscal.
There are 3 sectors. One is the IT sector, second is the biopharma sectors, and third is the engineering sector. Apart from the IT SEZ, the second largest sector is the biopharma sector, which is led by the Serum SEZ. And you might be knowing that it is the largest manufacturer of the COVID vaccine in the entire world. Pune cluster has been created in 2017 and that time the Pune cluster has the export of around 54,000 crores. Right now it is 96,000 plus in 2020-21. During last 5 years, we have seen the growth of 150 new units coming to the Pune cluster. As far as the growth in the IT sector is concerned, we are regularly getting the request from the IT units for their expansion in terms of unit number as well as the area, which is indicative that the growth will continue to run in the coming years. Approximately 75% of the export is coming from the IT sector, and the rest 25% is being contributed by the biopharma and the engineering sectors.
From its nascent stage in 1966, the Serum Institute of India has evolved as the world's largest vaccine producer, manufacturing about 1.5 million doses with presence in 170 countries. It has protected over two-thirds of infant population globally. In 2006, it established the first pharma biotech SEZ in the country. It has 6 units catering to manufacture and export of traditional vaccines like TT, BCG, DPT, MMR, polio, Pentavac and Quadravac. A second SEZ called Poonawalla Biotechnology Park caters to newer vaccines including the life-saving Covishield. 88% of India's COVID vaccines come from the Serum Institute. The other new vaccines manufactured at its SEZ include rotavirus vaccine and pneumococcal vaccine, while work is underway for human papilloma, yellow fever, dengue and malaria vaccines. The company is currently working on with monoclonal antibody for COVID-19 and dengue. As the export-oriented zone approaches the 50-year milestone, there is a commitment of 200 crore rupees for rejuvenation and redevelopment of Seepz SEZ, and foundation stone has been laid for a mega common facility center worth 70 crore rupees.
Today's stone laying ceremony will culminate in an inauguration when we complete 50 years of Seepz on 1st May 2023. So our 50-year celebration should culminate with the inauguration of this CFC, and therefore I would urge all of you to work in parallel, look at the best construction companies, focus on quality whenever you are selecting your contractors, take the best equipment. Please do not compromise at all on getting the best equipment, best designs, best construction quality. Let's start with this mega CFC, make it really world class, but at the same time we need to reconstruct this entire zone to show the world that India can do real fast implementation of projects and become world class.
So the Mega CFC project will be a center for number one, innovation, where Indian manufacturers will have access to cutting edge tech before it has happened in any part of the world. So that will immediately give the couple of 100 factories over here a technical edge over our competitors in China and Thailand. Besides innovation, we will have a training center for reskilling and upskilling the skills of our workers in the factory, especially in goldsmith work, in hand craftsmanship, in setting stones, in polishing better. So that will be reskilling of the workers. And besides reskilling of workers and innovation, we will have machinery, heavy equipment, which normally an MSME in this industry will not be able to invest in himself. This is one of the few industries where we are a classic example of the Prime Minister's vision of Make in India. Now another point to ponder upon is that while the overall industry, yes, will grow at 10-15% annualized, Seepz has the potential to double from here in the next 3 to 4 years, for the simple reason that post-pandemic there is a huge shift of business happening from China to India, especially in the studded jewelry business. And due to this shift, Seepz has a natural advantage to maybe grow exponentially and not at 10-15%.
The rejuvenation package is essentially fivefold. One is on the infrastructure part, where we are concentrating on essentially providing quality infrastructure. The CFC is one such infrastructure that we are providing, and some of the buildings, like we have a central warehouse which has reached its end of the shelf life. So we demolish and build a brand new structure, preferably iconic structures which basically match the growing needs of the sector. Second, we have 53% of open spaces and amazing green cover. So Seepz as a destination itself for prospective buyers and consignees to come over and visit and see how we're doing the manufacturing. The third thing that we're looking at is positioning it as an ideal manufacturing destination. We be compliant to all the international quality standards and also the social standards in terms of labor, manufacturing standards, quality certification, etc. And fourth, we are looking at optimization of certain inputs. And the last component that I mentioned of these fivefold things is the waste disposal part, where we will ensure that we are a zero waste organization with complete compliances to all pollution norms. Now the essence of a special economic zone is primarily to bring in investment by providing a designated territory which till recently, till March 2020, was exempt from income tax and is essentially exempt or deemed foreign territory for the applicability of indirect taxation. So GST doesn't apply here except for a specific component for services. And this allows within an SEZ with the blanket security that one provides. The entire essence is all imports, capital goods being basically duty free are focused towards maximizing two primary objectives. One is to maximize the exports, the other is to ensure the local employment generations.
We are working with many countries to give the enabling environment and market access, particularly for the gem and jewelry sector. Seepz will continue to have an important role in our plans going forward.
We look forward to hosting you at Seepz and become our partner in India's growth story.